Shevchenko vs Pena, a clear sign of the times. It's January 1st, 2016. The leader of the free world is still captained by a minority Democrat, and the Chicago Cubs are enduring yet another cold winter of off-season baseball, preceded by another disappointing season without a World Series championship. Holly Holm, the woman who shocked the world with the steady beating of Ronda Rousey, is still the UFC Women's Bantamweight champion. Rousey, only but a few months removed from the defeat at UFC 193, is still considered the number 2 bantamweight fighter on the planet. Fast forward 12 of the most infamous months in our history, and not much has remained. Donald Trump is in the White House. The Cubs are cursed no more. Holm is nowhere near the bantamweight title scene. Rousey is perhaps considered the 5th best bantamweight on the UFC roster. The top 2 contenders in said division? Valentina Shevchenko and Juliana Pena, 2 names who, if nothing else, highlight a sign of the times. All that's changed since the ball dropped to welcome us into 2016. Shevchenko and Pena headline UFC on Fox 23 in Denver Saturday, both hoping to earn the right to take on current champion Amanda Nunes. Pause for just a moment to realize how inane the previous sentence would have sounded just 1 year ago. But, as noted, much has changed. Holm has moved up to 145 pounds. Rousey suffered her second TKO defeat in as many fights and is likely destined for retirement. Even Miesha Tate, one of a handful of mainstream staples of the division, has opted to end her fighting career following a loss at UFC 205. It all started the moment Holm accepted a risky fight with Tate instead of waiting for an immediate rematch with Rousey. Holm fell to Tate in the 5th round at UFC 196. Then came Tate's loss to Nunes at UFC 200, followed by Nunes' emphatic title defense against Rousey 5 months later, a 48-second drubbing that more or less proved Rousey's time at the top had come to a swift end. All the while Shevchenko and Pena were busy making names for themselves outside of the limelight belonging to the championship throne. Bullet came close to pulling off a come-from-behind victory against Nunes in March before picking up her only win of 2016 in what was one of the biggest upsets of the year. 5 rounds of consistent counter-fighting earned her the nod over Holm, a fight expected to catapult the preacher's daughter back into contention. Pena, meanwhile, continued her relatively vocal campaign toward a title shot, but did so behind the winds of a single victory, an outing, in 2016. A 3-round unanimous decision against former title challenger Cat Zingano, the Venezuelan vixen, extended her undefeated UFC record to 4-0. 2 title contenders worthy of a shot, neither of whom were on anybody's radar this time last year. The guard has officially passed from fighters of the previous generation to those a few steps ahead. Nunes is now the dominant champion atop the class, starching her opponents within the confines of the opening round. Pena is the gritty, underappreciated grappler who grinds her way into victory. Shevchenko is the talented striker who picks opponents apart. Women's MMA in 2016 evolved to bring us this new trio of fighters who may be trading the title as frequently as Rousey, Holm, and Tate did. The sport may struggle with the lack of star power, but it's doing just fine in terms of talent development.